get some more volume on my headphones. Let me get some more volume on these drops. Let's get into it. Mike. Welcome back to another episode of Live on Broadway podcast. Greetings and salutations to you all. Per usual. Welcome back to another episode of Live on Broadway podcast, where the situations matter more than the relationships. Perspectives will be respected by everybody. And if this is your first time tapping in, don't be easily threatened or angered, because much like you, every giant here first started off as a perfect stranger. We ask that everybody tap in and get in tune with what we doing on YouTube, Broadway the Giant. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Show your social currency by way of simply liking. Drop a super chat if you guys are appreciating the show. Give me some coffee, some Dunkin' Donuts, a little bit of, organic vegetables. You get me? Listen, man, it costs a little bit to keep the skin so clear. You get what I'm saying? But now, easy off for Broadway. I appreciate everybody tapping in. Tap in with us and get into what we doing on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Live on Broadway Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are available. With that out the way,
I know that's right, girl.
Okay, listen, let's talk about it. There's a lot going on. I told you guys that we will be following this Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation, and today we back to get to it. And it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Last time we spoke was Friday. Today's Tuesday. Yesterday we did yesterday's podcast. Make sure you go check out episode 553 because we definitely pulled up and got to the shits and the smoke. Shout out to the Giants. Tonight, I'm joined by Instagram. I got the collectors up here with me. I also got Clubhouse up here with me. You know how we do. And I got Allison, DWI. He got a feeling, a standing. This person that's there, it's not really real. Like, that's not where's that? That's not a real person. And we know that, and we're gonna call cap on it. When he do get back, we'll get his POV on some things. We got the beautiful relationship strategist, Siobhan. She's in here. Easy on Siobhan. You get me? She gonna tap in when she get a chance to. You get me? Tap in. Shout out to Yaya. We appreciate you being here, Yaya. We loving the hair. And she right now, she driving through these streets. Whoa. Shout out to the YouTube viewership, Terica. I see you. Everybody hit that like button, please. And thank you. Show your social currency. And let's get into it. We know who shot Meg. We ain't gonna act shy about it. We ain't gonna do this too much longer. We know who shot Meg. Before we get to that, we're gonna talk about a few things. One thing's for certain, the things that we do know. Meg was shot. We know that. That's a fact. Meg was shot. Meg is a victim. That's a fact. Right? We know these things. Tory Lanez, prints and DNA was not on the magazine of the gun. We know that. These are things that we know. Forget the speculation, okay? There's a few things that we're going to learn, and I'm going to teach you guys here tonight. And at the silver lining of what's going to come, probably before final thoughts, which will be the importance of choosing your friends and a company you keep wisely. With that said, I'm going to play a few clips. The first one I'm going to play is going to be attorney, lawyer for workers, and we're going to get into Milagro. Shout out to Milagro. She been covering it. What up, though, Lolo? I see you on YouTube. I see you, Lolo. And these been some solid people that's been in the courts, that's been right there reporting back. And I'm going to play a few things. And it's going to go like this. Tap in with us. Live on Broadway podcast.
You are beautiful. Thank you. All right. I'm going to speak from the courtroom with me so they can give you their opinions as well. Now, today, you're probably going to see a lot about they tried to kill Megan and throw her in the river. But I want to put some context around that. When I say this morning was a fucking fool, bitch, it was a fucking fool. A fucking fool. So let's break it down so I can tell you why in the fuck they saying that they was about to throw a bitch in the river. Mm-hmm. They said, "Million man, is it not looking good?" We'll get into it. Who it don't look good for, it still looks good for Tory. I don't know why the fuck y'all can't understand that if anybody deviates from what Megan claimed, that's the problem. Yeah. What are we here to prove? That he shot her. People get so emotional and want to get tied in. Oop, oop, oop. What are the facts? The facts are Megan said he did this way. Yeah. That is not what we're finding out, and that is at the core of the situation. So I'm going to need you to remain focused, and I'm going to need you to understand what's going on. This is a court of law. This is not Clue. This is not you watching ID channel. This is not forensic file. Bitch, we're in court, and they have to prove things. So hold on to that. Now, we come in day 7. It's 10:50 a.m. They had to replace a juror. There was talk about the juror who got to go to the doctor Wednesday and Thursday. So I'm guessing, not sure, that they went ahead and replaced them now so that this wouldn't even be a problem. So they bring in a white woman. Okay?
YouTube, Clubhouse, if you want to see it the way it's meant to be seen, hit that link up top and you guys will see it and hear it exactly the way it's meant to be seen and heard. Let's carry on.
A stipulation is something in court that is a fact. So when somebody presents a stipulation, if the other party agrees, then you have to admit that as a fact, okay? Hold on. So the stipulation brought up today was the fact that the 9mm weapon was unregistered, okay? And then the people have rested unless they can find, Justin or anybody else, and we move on to the defense. So George, who is Tory's lawyer, they call forward Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly is not American. Do I think that's important? I do, because I think that changes the way that he views us as people in this country and the way he's going to view situations and violence and everything, because shit is different culturally. You cannot hear me? Y'all can hear me? Please hurry up. You saw a vehicle when you awoke him. And he said, yeah. And they said, could you indicate what a vehicle was? He said, yes. So they show him a photo, and he literally draws a square that would represent the car.
Sean Kelly,
and the way that I can describe it to you is that the car was headed west, so going this way, and it was up on the curb. You know how you kind of pull up on the curb so you're not in the street? You got to remember these are narrow streets and stuff. So he described the car as being up on the curb pretty much. Okay. They said, when you heard the noises and the arguing, then what happened? He said, I looked through the windows, and there were 2 girls. He said, I saw 2 girls arguing. And he said they were standing next to the car, on the right side of the car. So this would be the passenger side of the car, and that the doors were open. If we pause right here, is that what Megan or Kelsey said happened? And that is where your fucking problem lies. Megan said that boy, as soon as she got out the car, Kelsey said when she got out the car, no sooner than she got out the car, she heard gunshots. They both fucking lied. Because at the end of the day, this independent witness who is from the UK says that, listen, I looked, I heard arguing, I go, look out the window, can y'all leave? And I, kind of look a little bit more. And they fighting. So when did that happen? Miss Bump. I bumped a bitch. Okay? And so when you heard the noise, then what happened? I looked through the windows and it was 2 girls.
Let's freeze frame right there. Because we're going to talk about some of the things that we also know. We know that Meg lied. We know that Kelsey's lying. They there to protect somebody. They're there to protect somebody. Who are they there to protect? In my best and honest opinion, I think it's themselves. Meg said that she don't remember that it wasn't a fight, that it was a bump. But it was the bump that took the hair out and snatched the chain off. The witness, Sean Kelly, gets on the stand today, and he goes, to be honest with you, y'all was right there in my hole 10, 15 feet away. 10, 15 feet away. I don't want to drag this out. I want to get to it. I'm going to play one more clip, and then I'm going to come back to the Milagro situation in a little bit. But this one is going to give y'all way more straight to the point details and facts. Tap in. Live on Broadway podcast.
better than TV. Hollywood writers can't make this stuff up. Wait until you hear what the eyewitness testimony was this morning at the Tory Lanez. They asked Mr. Kelly, do you know why you're here? He said, absolutely. The defense attorney put up a picture of the back of his home. You could see a driveway. They had him draw a square where the SUV was parked. It was right on the curb of the back of his house, 10, 15 feet. His window is overlooking it. He stepped out onto his Juliet balcony, and he watched for several minutes as Meg Thee Stallion and Kelsey, the two females, he didn't identify them by name, got out of the car, and they were engaged in a fight. It was violent. It was...
Let's stop that right there. It was a whole fight. A whole fight. First off, let me ask you guys something simply. Did you guys have any vested interest in the person in the winner or the loser of this trial? Tap in with me, Clubhouse. Clubhouse, tap in with me, Allison.
Yeah. Repeat that again. Do I have any insight?
Vested interest? Do you have any vested interest in seeing Tory, Meg, the winner, the loser? Is there anything that you would like to see done in this trial?
No, not particularly. Either way, I mean, nope, not really.
Okay. Hey, Dove. Greetings, Dove. Welcome to the stage, Dove.
You wild enthusiastic tonight. How you doing?
Hey, we live on YouTube. We busting it up and we having a conversation. We getting to it, Dove. You know, so here's the thing, right, Allison? I personally do have a vested interest. I want to see justice served, right? In regards to whoever shot Meg needs to go to jail. You get what I'm saying? I'm just going to wake it up and say that and put it right there and let it be whatever it is. I feel like this trial, she's a woman. She said she was shot. That's about the extent of what she said that was the truth. She was shot. There was gunfire. She lied about a few things. So I feel like this is killing her credibility, right? This is killing her credibility. But yet and still she was shot. She's a victim. So I feel like, yes, the person, whoever shot Meg, and we're going to talk about that tonight because after today, we know who shot Meg. That's a fact. Well, it's not a fact, but we're gonna speculate, but I feel as though we know who shot Meg at this point. You know that game that you used to play when you flip over the cards, the 52 deck of cards, you flip them over, and then you get to like the last 3 or 4 cards and you've seen the same card in the same place for a certain amount of time. We know where it's at. We know what's going on. So tap in with me. Let me tap in with Yaya. Yaya, how do you feel? I'm coming to you next, Instagram. Yaya, how do you feel, Queen? Yaya, you by your mic, Queen? Oh, wait, Yaya's driving through the tunnel. Let's be easy off of you. Oh, wait, chill. You there?
No, I'm good. I'm in Brooklyn. Hello?
All right, cool. We don't want no accidents. Yes, because the views and opinions of Live on Broadway podcast does not directly affect Yaya's driving. What's up? What's up with you?
My take on this is I heard about it. I felt some kind of way, that she got shot. Don't know, too much more than, that what's going on in the trial because I've been really, really, really busy.
Sure.
And I haven't entertained being nosy or been on social media like that. So being that I was driving, my dad's on Clubhouse, notification went up, and when I saw what it is, I'm like, oh snap, they know who shot her.
Yep.
So that's why I tuned in.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not vested, but right now I'm nosy.
I got you. Nothing wrong with that. Nah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Let me tap in with Dove one time. Dove, have you been following this whole mess of a trial, Queen?
Nope. I just feel like it's so messy. I watch, like taps on YouTube. That's it. That's it. Like it does not move the needle for me at all. Like you said, whoever shot her should definitely be serving some time and being punished for the craziness. But if she was lying, if she knew and it wasn't him, she needs to be punished for that because she's wasting people's time and money and resources and energy And the fact she had the whole music and internet world behind her on this, if she lied, she should be punished for that. Period.
Period.
Wake that up. Wake that up. Collectors, how you feel, King? Tap in with me one time. I mean, I'm coming back to you in a second. I see we got Anton. I see we got Shantae. Greetings and salutations on Clubhouse. I'll be right back to you guys in a millisecond. Tap in with me, collectors. Meg Thee Stallion, we've been covering this thing. You've been here with us from pretty much day one, goddammit. And there's a lot there. Meg is doing this. Kelsey is called for the prosecutors, right? The prosecutors get Kelsey on the stand, and she just goes rogue, right? I wanted to wake up and highlight a few things real quick. There's different type of immunities. Kelsey doesn't have transactional immunity, right? Which is considered like a blanket immunity, which is anything she says can't be held against her. She doesn't have that, right? So let's just be clear on a few things. She has what's called use immunity, meaning if she says something, she still has to be very careful about the things that she say, because if she purges herself, if there's certain things that come out later after the trial, she could still be, charges could still be brought against her. So there's different types of immunity, and I just want to be clear, just because she has immunity, a lot of people are moving and thinking that, all right, she has immunity, so she could just say and move how she want to move and say, and that's not exactly true. Okay, so on the back of that, I throw it to you, collectors. Tap in with me, King. How you feel? I mean, where we at with it?
I'm appalled. What movie that come from? This shit is embarrassing, Way. This shit is embarrassing. It's gonna be embarrassing however it play out. You know what I'm saying? Because the situation is real embarrassing. You know, it seems like, it's just another foul situation that we gave the media to project our image as a people. You know what I'm saying? I'm embarrassed. I'm appalled, like, you know what I mean? Because it went down, and then after it went down, y'all still up in these people court of law trying to lie.
Right.
The first time I caught a real, that's my real charge. That's my first real charge. First time I caught a real charge, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, my pop sat me down and put a book in front of me that was about this big, because that's the kind of charge I was facing, you know what I'm saying? Inshallah, I got through the shit. Yeah. But he put a book in front of me like this big. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, y'all up in here trying to play with these people like this shit is play school. Right. Everything is detailed. Everything is exact, like what you were saying. This guy's saying details, blase, blase. So for y'all to even do that, y'all look ignorant as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all caught in the shit. If we gonna come up with a plan, let's come up with a better plan than this. It looked like a whole circus, bro. Shit embarrassing, man. Embarrassing for the sisters, embarrassing for the brothers. Like, I'm embarrassed.
So EJ testified yesterday, right? I'm coming to you in a second, Marcy. EJ testified yesterday. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of people that's saying that EJ was like a real credible witness. That was the hairstylist, right? EJ being the hairstylist when, you know, Meg was the only, that's EJ, EJ is Megan's hairstylist, and EJ doesn't drink. OBJ was at Kylie's house the night of, and OBJ don't drink. So those two was bonding allegedly over not drinking. Okay, freeze frame. EJ says that they drunk about maybe 7, 8 bottles of liquor. So it was about 7 to 8 people there, and EJ and OBJ wasn't drinking. So that means that it was about 6 people running through about 6 to 8 bottles in a certain time frame, right? Now, that's a lot of liquor. And they drinking at 42. You get what I'm saying? They drinking at 1942. I want to play the rest of this clip so we could be on the same page and we could be talking about the same thing for the duration of this pod. Tap in, live on Broadway podcast. I'm going to bring it back a little bit.
Of the back of his house, 10, 15 feet. His window is overlooking it. He stepped out onto his Juliet balcony and he watched for several.
This is Sean Kelly. This is Sean Kelly that's tapping in, and he's the eyewitness from the evening of. Just be clear.
Of his house, 10, 15 feet. His window is overlooking it. He stepped out onto his Juliet balcony, and he watched for several minutes as Meg the Stallion and Kelsey, the two females, he didn't identify them by name, got out of the car, and they were engaged in a fight. It was violent. It was quite aggressive. It started with arguing that woke him up in the middle of the night. Where his house is, often him and his son are woken up in the middle of the night by people who stop in and around the back of his home. This was another night, arguing, escalation, two women fighting. He watched the whole thing while standing on his balcony. Oh my God, it gets crazier. As he looked down on a fight that he described as quite violent, he then saw the larger gentleman, this is presumably the security guard Quan, come and violently try to separate them. Eventually, all four were involved in what he called an aggressive, everyone fighting, essentially just a melee, a free-for-all between four people in the middle of the night, right outside of his back window. He said at one point he saw one woman go back towards into the car. At that point, he saw a muzzle flash. Then he said there was a man, and after the first few shots from the woman came off, he saw the man getting involved with the woman, and more shots went off. On cross-examination, the prosecutor asked him, "Did you see the man shoot?" He said, "Yes, I saw the shorter man with a gun shooting violently in the air at least 5 times." Okay, wait, what? That's not what you just testified. Then the defense attorney went back and asked him, "I thought you said you saw the woman and then you saw the man shoot." And he's like, "Yeah, you have to understand, it was just a crazy free-for-all, and it all happened very quickly." And then he said the most shocking thing that has come out in this case, which is that after the shots went off, one woman crawled further away, that the 3 people then went over there.
Hold on. I want to be clear on something.
First few shots from the woman came off the car. At that point, he saw a muzzle flash. Then he said there was a man, and after the first few shots from the woman came off, he saw the man getting involved with the woman, and more shots went off. On cross-examination, the prosecutor asked him, "Did you see the man shoot?" He said, "Yes, I saw the shorter man with a gun shooting violently in the air at least 5 times." Okay, wait. What? That's not what you just testified.
Hold on. So just to be clear here, guys, tap in with me. Check it out. Just in case you lost something, just in case you wasn't clear on something, the first few shots, and as I understand it, it was 5 shots that went off in total, right? So the defense, the witness is the defense witness. I mean, the defense calls up the witness, right? The witness is there to speak up for Tory and his side. So as the defense gets up, so as the witness gets on the stand, we get through all the jogging. They go, "Did you see the person who shot? Did you see where the fire came from? Where the gunshots came from?" He goes, "Yes, it came from the woman first, right?" So it goes pop, 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 3 shots, right? And then the dude comes out of the car, he says, the shorter guy, and then he sees another few shots just going off in the air or something, just shots going off, right? Another pop, pop. That's what he says when the defense brings him up. But then on a cross-examination, the prosecution says, "What did you see?" And he goes, "I saw 5 shots go off from the girl." So he's getting up there and he's contradicting himself. I'm going to play this clip. It's not much longer, a couple more seconds. Just wanted to be clear on that.
The prosecutor asked him, "Did you see the man shoot?" He said, "Yes, I saw the shorter man with a gun shooting violently in the air at least 5 times." Okay, wait, what? That's not what you just testified. Then the defense attorney went back and asked him, "I thought you said you saw the woman and then you saw the man shoot." And he's like, "Yeah, you have to understand, it was just a crazy free-for-all, and it all happened very quickly." And then he said the most shocking thing that has come out in this case, which is that after the shots went off, one woman crawled further away, that the 3 people then went over there and beat her violently while she was on the ground. They picked her up. They looked like they were going to drag her and throw her into the river. Instead, they dragged her across the street, put her in the car, and drove off. The prosecution, we're on lunch. The prosecution is going to come back, and basically they're trying to build the case that this witness is lying because he's intimidated by the defense, that he never said anything about the muzzle flash going off near Kelsey, and now he's saying all this because he's scared of telling the truth. We'll see how that comes out on direct. Here's a fact, though. He has been consistent about a couple things. One, the two women were outside that car fighting for several minutes, escalated, started with an argument, then it got quite violent, and the security guard came out to try to separate them. The idea that the jury would credit Meg's testimony, which is just completely contradicted by this eyewitness, is highly unlikely. The prosecution has major work to do to save their case, which is absolutely on life support right now.
So let's be clear on something, right? Let's be clear on something. One time, whoa. One time I see the collectors dropping those badges. I see Sasseries buying those super chats on YouTube. We appreciate the super chats and the badges. We appreciate it. Shout out to the collectors. Shout out to Sasseries one time. Appreciate the support, guys. Tap in. So here's the thing, right? And I'm going to go to Lawyers for Workers Instagram and see if there's anything new that came out lastly, because as we're streaming live, you know, it's important that we get or make sure that we got everything that we tapped in with everything and on all accounts. Let me see if there's anything here. Is there anything that came to pass? Anything yet? Let me see. Let me see. What are you talking about?
By the defendants, and that when the
all right, check this out.
Kelly, the prosecutors tried to build the case that Kelly has been influenced by the defendants, and that when the defendants investigator went to him, that was the first time that he said all these things about a girl possibly being the shooter and about Meg and this person fighting. And then on I guess, redirect examination, after the prosecutor established that, the defense attorney came out and did a great job establishing that before the defense investigator talked to this guy, the lead detective for the LAPD talked to this guy. And Mr. Kelly told the lead detective of the LAPD about these girls fighting, about the muzzle flash going off near Kelsey. And the LAPD, when they sat down, that detective, when he sat down with Meg, he didn't ask her any of those questions. He had an eyewitness tell him that these two women were fighting, that this other woman was near when the muzzle flash went off, that there was a struggle between all of these people. And yet, and still, the lead detective sat down with Meg the Stallion and at the interview never asked any of these questions. And it was very interesting. There was kind of a Freudian slip where they asked this lead detective a question and he responds, he says, well, they didn't say anything like that. And the attorney, the defense attorney, is like, who do you mean by they? Are you talking about the team that Meg had on that phone call, her attorney, her publicist, or her manager, whoever they called? And he wasn't interviewing Meg, he was interviewing the team. So with Kelly, the prosecutors tried to
Wow. Let's get back into it, though. Live on Broadway podcast. What's happening with you, Marcy? Marcy, how you feel, Queen? Tell me something good. Is it real or good? I don't even know the words to the song. But tell me something, Marcy.
God, I don't even know what to say with this case. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm flabbergasted, disgusted, and I applaud everything altogether. I mean, I want to know what the heck is the new charges that they just.
Well, I think they tried to bring some new charges, and the judge pretty much like canceled it, cut it off cut it off from the wayside, and just said, y'all bugging, y'all tripping, y'all getting y'all ass handed to y'all. Figure it out.
Right, because they see that their case is falling apart.
Yeah.
But to me, it seems like a Hollywood setup. First of all, they don't have cameras, which that's ridiculous. But it's all starting to look like, a conspiracy now. Like, obviously we know it was. I'm just gonna say it's Kelsey. Like, I'm gonna stick to that because everything points to her.
So let's be clear on something. Right. Let's be clear. I said we know who shot Meg. We know who shot Meg. The bag that EJ brought to the car, two people sat in the back seat. It was Meg the Stallion and it was Kelsey. Tory was sitting in the front seat. As the way they explained it throughout the trial, Tory and Meg is going back and forth. Tory gets in the car, leans back and says, yo, why are you protecting your friend when she keeps snaking you? She got Ben Simmons from you. She don't got the baby from you. What's happening? He's saying this to Kelsey, and he's telling Kelsey just learns right then and there that Meg and Tory had a situation behind Kelsey back. So again, EJ packed the bags and put the bags in the back of Tory's car. EJ said he saw something, but he just put stuff on top of. He saw something that looked like either I think it was a gun. He said he saw something that looked like, but he mind his business. He just put things in. He don't go through people's bags. He was getting Meg and everybody out of there. So he says he packs
Megan's bag.
Yes. He packs Meg's bag and put it inside of EJ. And EJ packs Meg's bag and takes all the bags from out of their car and put it inside Tory's car. So that bag, if you're familiar with an SUV, right? You could just imagine maybe an Escalade. There's a back row. That's where the back row is where Megan and Kelsey is. That other row, the row that's in the middle, that's where Tory is. So Tory's talking to them. They learned Meg learned the new information. On top of Meg learning this new information, what ends up happening? They get into a wild argument, right? Wild argument ensued. How I see it is that gun or whatever's in that car that's in the back, that's close to Meg and Kelsey. Hello?
Right.
She goes in the back, she grabs it because remember, when the police come and they start chasing it, when the police come and search the vehicle, that bag that was placed in the back that EJ testified and said it was in the back, it was no longer in the back. It was in the back seat by where Meg and Kelsey.
Right. Which is why I believe that she said she got off when the two people in the back were arguing. She didn't get off because they were arguing. And she was the whole argument herself. She got off to get the bag.
Tap in with me, Clubhouse. I'm coming back to you in a second, Cash. Clubhouse, tell me something real. Tell me something good. Tell me, just say something. Clubhouse, what's happening? I mean, y'all hear this buffoonery? Hello? Oh, man.
I mean, we expected this to be the shit show that it turned into, you know? But what I will say is that the charges that they tried to give Tory was definitely some sort of, I think, we got a hot mic.
Oh, yeah, just mute up. We'll get to you next, Queen. I hear you, Allie.
I feel like it is a diversion tactic.
From who? I'm sorry, I missed that.
The whoever tried to pin the new charges, I think it was the
prosecutors.
The defense.
Yeah.
The prosecutor, yeah. Because, but listen, it was to bring to light, it was tampering charges, but witness tampering. So that is a very, very important not to do so, because basically what you're doing is you're swaying the witness.
But where you get the witness tampering from?
That was the charges that they were trying to charge him with.
Yes, correct. Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't understand the correlation. My bad.
Right. So, I mean, I get what they were trying to do. However, it was a little too late in the game. People have already, voiced their opinion and made their decision, whether it's public. But I really feel like the jury, they're listening very carefully to everything, and they're probably just like you said days ago, it's probably going to end up in a mistrial, because basically what this is a reality show. You can't possibly take this seriously. This is taxpayers' money.
Right.
So.
This is a whole reality show. Let's be clear on something, right? And I'm coming to you right now, y'all. Let's be clear on something. This is not a case about, this is a case about, did Tory Lanez shoot Meg Thee Stallion? That's what this case is about. This isn't about, did the bodyguard, did she step on glass? Was there some random person? No. This is about one thing and one thing only. Did Tory Lanez shoot Meg Thee Stallion? That's all that this is about. Yeah, tap in with us.
I just wanted to tap in on what you said about a reality show. Like, this is not even like Love and Hip Hop worthy. This is like some Zeus Network trash. It's so tacky. It's so poorly put together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's horrible. It's sad. It's really sad, and it's really gonna hurt her career, and it's gonna hurt it. You know, because I mean, you got a lot of people that were riding, you know, and it's sad, and it's really sad. It's sad. I don't want to say too much more.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think Meg knows who shot her. I don't. I don't. And
she doesn't. But that's the thing. I don't think she knows, because at the end of the day, I'm from Brooklyn. When I hear gunshots, I'm not looking to see where they're from. I'm dropping low and making sure I don't get hit. So if somebody's shooting, you're not gonna look to see who's shooting. You know that he's in the car. You know that she was there. So you don't know who shot. What you know is you got hit. So as a victim, when you're in shock, you're going to say whatever the hell you want to say at that moment. You know, so we could give her the benefit of doubt about that. But damn, I just went to a red light camera.
Oh my God!
All
listen,
right,
I'm not. Listen, can somebody send her some coins? What's your cash app? No,
I'm in Utica and Eastern Parkway.
Oh shit! Stay away from Utica and Eastern Parkway. Tap in. What you got for us, Anton? We got TJ. What you guys got? What you guys make of this whole charade?
Well, let me just say this real quick before
Sure.
somebody else comes in. Remember that game Hot Potato where you're holding potato in your hands and you're passing it to somebody, and
I do.
whoever opens their eyes is the one that's caught? That's exactly what this is. It is a game of hot potato. We don't know who held the gun, but somebody did, and whoever Megan saw with it is who she blamed.
So how much? I'm coming to you on Instagram. How much stock are we placing in on this witness? Because he's saying things that's contradicting themselves. He's saying that it was 3 shots that came from next to the woman, Kelsey, right? And then the guy comes out the car, and then there was another 2 shots, right? It was another 2 shots, right? That's what he says when the defense examines him. And then on a cross exam, the prosecutors asked him, and he says it was 5 shots that came from the guy. Pop, 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 pop. I think that was 5. And so my question is he's saying things. He's impartial. I mean, he's non-biased. He doesn't have he's a guy from Europe. I mean, a European country. He doesn't have any dog in the race. So are we believing what he's saying? Are we believing what Kelsey's saying? Are we believing what Meg is saying? Because to be honest with you guys, Tory's the only one that hasn't lied yet. Tory hasn't lied. He said, I'm innocent. And that's all we know. What up, collector?
But we also have to understand this is a high-profile case. So regardless of whether you have a stock in the game, you have your name. So any type of affiliation is going to bring some sign to you as an individual and whatever you have to offer.
Well, okay, so here's the thing with that, right? I'm coming to you, collectors. Here's the thing with that. I agree with that, Allie, right? I agree with that for the most part. The only thing with that is there's some people that's not a part of our culture at all. Don't listen to the music. Don't go out to clubs that play the music. That don't play the music in their homes. They just are detached. I don't know who this Sean Kelly is. I know he's a white person. I know that he's not. I know that he witnessed it. It happened in front of his house, 15 feet. So there's a part of me that wants to believe what he's saying. But Tory did not shoot the gun. Tory shot the gun twice. That's what I believe. I believe Kelsey shot, bow, 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 was shooting at her. He also says, I never heard dance bitch. Where the fuck does that? I told y'all the other day, they just throwing in shit to see whatever stick. Harlem Nights, dance big, shoot at the feet, let's see if you can dance. He said he never heard that. Kelsey said she never heard that. Collectors, tap in with me, beloved, one time, King.
No, I was just ad-libbing you saying wake that up when you were saying your build about Tory. But quick question. This guy, this witness, 15 feet that's mad close though, way. 15 feet ain't too far.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I was about to question like his vision is in the back of your house, is dark. But see, in the dark,
15, and he saw it from up. He grabbed his son. So go ahead, I hear you.
Right, in the dark, 15 feet from up is kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because to them we all look alike. He could have seen her busting the gun and thought it was him. But no, I wasn't really saying that. I was just chiming in on your bill.
All right, cool. So the way I understand it, here's the way I understand it. He says the two women was fighting. And we're going to get to them allegedly where he said they started both jumping Meg, right? The girl that was on the floor. So here's the thing. Meg and Kelsey get into a fight. How I see it is Kelsey grabs the gun and starts shooting at Meg 3 times. Tory sees this shit. He like, what the fuck? He goes out there. Yo, y'all bugging because the witness said the short guy was making a lot of noise. He was using a lot of obscenities. So Tory comes out. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, y'all woo, 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 woo. He goes to Kelsey. Yo, how you shooting? Goes to try to grab the gun and pow, pow. Shit still going off. We all know there's multiple ways to let a gun fire, and it doesn't necessarily mean you grabbing it and shooting somebody. A gun could fall and it go off accidentally. But he says the girl shot the first few shots. This is what the witness says. Sean Kelly says this, 15 feet away. He says the witness shot a few shots. The next couple shots came from Tory. I'm going to finish playing this clip live on Broadway podcast. Just check it out. See if I get it up right. Okay, here we go.
You are beautiful.
Let's go ahead.
They both fucking lied because at the end of the day, this independent witness who is from the UK says that, listen, I looked, I heard arguing. I go, look out the window. Can y'all leave? And I, kind of look a little bit more. And they fighting. So when did that happen? Miss Bump. I bumped a bitch. Okay. And so when you heard the noise, then what happened? So I looked through the windows and it was 2 girls. I saw them arguing, standing next to the car on the right side of the car. The doors were open. He said, I opened my doors and I stepped onto the balcony and they started fighting. Pulling hair.
Hitting each other. Quite violent.
Quite violent is what he said. He said, I only saw 2 girls. And then I saw a tall guy get out of the driver's side.
That's the body.
Yeah, he said he was in all black and he was black, okay? Mm-hmm. And he was a larger gentleman. So if we pause right there, pulling hair and hitting and shit. So all of this conversation about Tory whooping her ass and pulling on her neck, and that's why your chain broke, and that's why you got these scars, and that's why you got a patch in your head and your nails broke. They trying to put that on Tory. But this witness saw you and Megan fighting, okay?
Wake that up.
Kelsey is 4'11", Megan is 5'10". And he said they'll find for a while. Milagograms@gmail.com is one Duzelle. So he said my son came out and I talked to my son. He said the next thing I saw was the driver intervene and they were all fighting for a while. He said I told my son, get in my bed. He said they kept fighting. He said they separated and that Megan got into, he's describing Megan, so I'm going to say their names as per who I think he was talking about. He said she got into the passenger side of the car and they were still fighting. They said she just kept kicking. Yeah, so I would imagine her just kicking Kelsey. He said all I was seeing was her legs kicking her. And they said, for how long? He said, I don't know, several minutes. He said, I was still on the balcony. He said, and nothing was in my way. Like I could see them. He said, I could see them from the top. I wasn't looking directly at them out of eye, but I could see them basically. They said, did one female leave? He said, no. He said, I saw one girl go to the car and then I saw what I thought was fireworks, but now I know that it was a muzzle flash. So that's what he said. He saw a muzzle flash. They said at the same time, he said Tory got out and was yelling. He said he got out and as they yelled, and then all 4 of them was right there. And he kept saying that this was happening so fast, it was happening so fast. So he said he got out of the passenger side of the car. It's what Scotty said, got out. He said, then I saw flashes, I saw gunfire. He said that he had spoken to police about 3 times, and the first time was that day. He said it was a lot of cops that he spoke to, and he spoke to a sergeant, the DA, and the investigator, and then a prosecutor's investigator. They said, you saw the muzzle flash? He said, yes. And then they said, where? He said, I saw the muzzle flash closer to the girls. They said, is that the same lady that you saw fighting the one who the flash went off by? Yeah. They said, and she was just kicking. He said, I heard the gun go off, and they were still fighting. He said, eventually, the girl, and this is what they said, he said, the girl that got beat up crawled and went across the street. So if everybody that thinks that Kelsey got beat the fuck up, baby, that is not what the man from London said. He said that, baby girl, big ass, she didn't got beat the fuck up. So they said, did you hear dance bitch? He said, no, he did not hear that. They said, you were interviewed about who had the gun. And you were asked, how many people had it? He said 2 people had the gun. That's what he said. He said, who had it initially? He said the girl. I only saw flashes from the girl, but they was all fighting.
Who was fighting with the other girl?
Okay. And then, and I'm going to put the camera on this young lady right here so she can tell y'all, when I get through, she can give y'all her perspective. After the flash, they said Tora was shouting, and everybody was fighting. They was just making a lot of noise. They said, did you see the gentleman run to her? And he said, no, he ain't run. He got out the car. And so, that he kind of walked over. He wasn't running nothing like that. So there was a couple of objections, and they felt like the defense was leading him. So he had to rephrase his questions. They said, did you say that the person who the muzzle flash went off by was the one with the gun? And they showed him his statement, and he said, yes, that's what I said. They said, who did you describe the shooter to be when you spoke with everybody? He said, one of the girls. They said, did you see the shorter guy do anything with the girl who was shot? And then, did you get an answer to that question? Because they moved on. Because it was a whole bunch. When I tell you the prosecution was like, objection.
They end up asking him, did you see the shorter guy try to take the gun away after the female?
Then I do have it right.
He said yes.
Perfect. So when they said, did you see him do anything with the girl who got shot? There was an objection. And so he rephrased the question. He said, didn't you say that the shorter guy tried to take the gun from the girl? He said, yes. They said, then the flashes came from him. So I want to remind you guys of how it sounded when they played those gunshots. It went like this. Pop, 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 pause, pop, pop. From day one, when we heard that shit, I said, you know what, that sounds like a struggle. And now it's starting to align with the fact that somebody fired that weapon and maybe there was something, a pause, and it went off 2 more times.
Yep.
Okay? That is my speculation, obviously. They said then the flashes came from him. He said they were all fighting, so I assumed that it was him who fired the gun. So they read the statement. And he said, sir, did you say that after the female did the shooting that the guy tried to take the gun? This man said, it's my turn to talk. Okay? And he said, child, let me tell it. He didn't got aggravated, child. And so they said, look, who started the shooting? He said, the girl. Plain as day, the girl. They said, did you realize that it wasn't a firearm? Is that what you know? Did you realize that it wasn't a firearm?
So wait, I just want to rewind this real quick.
The one with the gun. And they showed him his statement, and he said, yes, that's what I said. They said, who did you describe the shooter to be when you spoke with everybody? He said, one of the girls. They said, did you see the shorter guy do anything with the girl who was shot? And then, did you get an answer to that question? Because they moved on. Because it was a whole bunch. When I tell you the prosecution was like, objection.
They end up asking him, did you see the shorter guy try to take the gun away after the female?
Then I do have it right.
He said yes.
Perfect. So when they said, did you see him do anything with the girl who got shot? There was an objection. And so he rephrased the question. He said, didn't you say that the shorter guy tried to take the gun from the girl? He said, yes. They said, then the flashes came from him. So I want to remind you guys of how it sounded when they played those gunshots. It went like this. Pop, 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 pause, pop, pop. From day one, when we heard that shit, I said, you know what, that sounds like a struggle. And now it's starting to align with the fact that somebody fired that weapon and maybe there was something, a pause, and it went off 2 more times. Okay? That is my speculation, obviously. They said then the flashes came from him. He said they were all fighting, so I assumed that it was him who fired the gun. So they read the statement. And he said, sir, did you say that after the female did the shooting that the guy tried to take the gun? This man said, it's my turn to talk. Okay. And he said, Tom, let me tell it. He didn't got aggravated, Tom. And so they said, look, who started the shooting? He said, the girl.
Whoa, hold on. I need everybody on YouTube right now. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Show your social currency. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Show your social currency. We need these likes to go up. Hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Plain as day, the girl. They said, did you realize that it wasn't a firearm? Is that what you know? Did you realize that it wasn't a firearm?
No, I know. He said I was thinking and hoped that they were playing with fireworks.
Right. And then did you realize that it was a firearm? He said, yes. He said, do you agree that you called 911? He said, yeah. He said, did you say that there was a gun in the 911 call? He said, I don't know. He said, after talking to everyone, did you say that Kelsey shot every time? And what that means is every time you spoke to anybody, were you telling them that Kelsey is the one who shot? Yes, was the answer to this question. Yes, that's what I said. He said, I saw her and then everyone was fighting and the men were breaking up the fight. He said the bigger guy violently separated them. They said, didn't you say that the short guy didn't get out until after the initial shots? He said, yeah. So did you see the shorter guy with the gun? He said, yeah, well, I didn't see a gun. He said, I did not see a gun. So they said after shots were fired, he got out and he was fighting both of the girls. That's what he said. They said on the date of the incident, did you go downstairs when the police came? He said, yeah. He said, I spoke to the police about 15 to 20 minutes after the incident and they kept asking him, were you being truthful? He said, yeah. He said, you said the two women were fighting and the man separated them, right? He said, yes. So they go to the bench to talk. They come back. All
right. Let's freeze frame right there. Because there's a lot of different moving pieces. And I'm hoping you guys are able to digest this as it's coming in. I don't know if you guys heard it or whatever have you. Shout out to Milagro. She definitely been covering it in the courtroom day by day. And tap in with me. How you guys are feeling? Clubhouse, what it do? Welcome, Kennedy. Good to have you, Queen. Good to see you. Oh, man. Collectors. Marcy. Tap in with me, Marcy. What you got for me, Queen?
I was wondering, Officer Cabral was the one that had the one that arrested Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.